Hey, you guys, it's Cheryl. Hold on one moment. I think we're live. All right, I think yes, we are live. So if you guys refresh the page, if there's a play icon on the Google box there, just click on that and give it a second, and then you should see me. Well, you should see my picture. All right, just one moment. Okay, what I'm going to do is share my screen. And for anyone who's not been on a Google Hangout before, there is a 10-second delay. So just give it a moment and you should see my screen shortly. All right, now I know I said 10-second delay, but it seems like it's a little longer than 10 seconds, but it's coming. And once I know you can see my screen, I will get started. All right, let's see. One moment, you guys. Thanks for being so patient. I am still here. Okay, it's working. All right, you guys. So thank you again, you guys, for joining tonight. This is a hangout, and I'm going to try to keep it short. I know I said the hangout was going to be an hour, but my goal is to try to get this done in the next 30 minutes. All right. So I'm going to kind of go through the first couple of slides, which is really just the agenda. But let me just first say this is Mystique. Many of you know me by Cheryl. And just to give you a little bit of my background, I'm an online business developer. And also, over the last 5, 7 years, during the day, I work at a Fortune 500 company and I help people do a lot of different things. But one of the things I do focus on is, Microsoft products and helping people kind of I'm kind of a super user. And so whether it's me working or my own business in the evening, I found, and I'm sure that you all can relate, myself just continuing to collect like hundreds and hundreds of files on my computer. So whether, I sat through a meeting, or, whether I did a training, or maybe I was just surfing the web and came across stuff, and you save to your file, the next thing you know, you either have a bunch of files that maybe you had an email sent to you with the file, but then what happens is one day you really want to look for something, and you're trying to say to yourself, well, goodness, I remember I had a file. I know I took notes on that training, or I know they sent me a PDF, and I know I saved it to my desktop somewhere, but I can't find it. Or you know where your information is, right? But then you have like 5 or 10 different windows or files open on your computer, which of course, slows your computer down. So, regardless of which scenario you fall under, or maybe you fall under both, Microsoft OneNote is a great solution. I've used OneNote probably for about, I would say, a little over a year now. And it's just really helped me because I'm able to really um, focus better, because my mind is not all over the place, because I know just about everything is in my OneNote. So that's what I'm hoping by the end of this call that you guys, I'm going to go through, a basic level of, how to do certain things, but I'm going to show you some really cool things that, a lot of people either just don't know can be done in OneNote, or they just haven't taken the time to leverage it. But whether you are, you're doing this for your day job, or, you run your own business, I definitely recommend trying OneNote. If anybody who is on this hangout happens to have Evernote, I know that's the Apple version of OneNote. I don't know Evernote enough to make a decent comparison to say which one is better than the other. They're probably both relatively similar, but you have to use your own judgment. But I'm just going to really focus on the OneNote here. So these are some of the things that we're going to go over this evening. We're going to talk about adding pages, sections, section groups to notebooks, how to customize your notebooks with templates, page color, insert pictures, tables, audio, insert external data such as documents, spreadsheets. I'm not going to really go into email, but we're going to talk about using the Send to OneNote feature tool to make inserting external data really, really easy. We're also going to go through using quick notes when you're on the go, and then how to file those notes into your notebook and send data to OneNote from other programs, and a few little cute little things that I'm going to add to the end of that. So also want to let you guys know too that I don't have a whole bunch of slides, so you don't have to worry about that. Um, and I'm not going to be reading these slides to you except for this one right here, which is what is OneNote, which is an electronic notebook that allows you to keep everything in one place, so you no longer have to be frustrated looking for something you saved to your computer but can't find. OneNote will help to increase your efficiency so that you can focus on your income producing activities. You can write notes, strategies, ideas, set reminders by typing, writing. You can even do freeform drawing with your mouse, or if you have the those new laptops where it comes with the stylus, you can actually draw on those. And I think that is with OneNote 2013. I'm not sure that you can do that with 2010. You can also add text, graphics, and images. You can even import screen clippings, audio, and video. It really does some cool, cool things. So let me just check something before I continue. Okay. All right, so let's go into, I'm going to go into my OneNote here. And let's see. Okay, so this here is just a quick note template. And also, before I get started, if you have Microsoft Office, then you should have OneNote. All right, so it would just be in that folder with all of your other Microsoft Office options. And then this is something that you can also get an app for and use on your iPad, iPhone, Android, and I think any Windows device, which is really, really, really a nice feature. Okay. So let me first show you how to create a notebook. You go right out here and you're going to click new, and let's give it a name. Let's just say Get Organized. Create notebook. You can click on that. Right now I'm not going to invite anyone, but you can invite people and give them access to your notebook. You can also make certain sections private. And you'll see what it looks like once I open it. Okay, so here we go. We've got our very first notebook. And if you see up here, it's very similar to Microsoft's other products. So that's why I don't think, that we need to go into super duper detail on how to do everything, because if you're using Microsoft already, a lot of it is pretty similar. So you've got your home tab here, your insert, draw, history, review, and view. And here we have our section. And let's rename that. And let's call it, oops. You're just going to right click and go to rename. And let's just, oh goodness, hold on. Meetings. I'm going to call it meetings. And let's create another section. And we're going to call this one trainings. So let's say if you were a school teacher, right? You could have a section for each of your classes that you teach, right? If you're an English teacher, you might also teach, a journalism section. You might have a section on poetry. If you were same thing if you were a student, actually, you could have that for your classes also. If you see clients, if you're a consultant and you have clients, you can have a different tab for each of your clients. The other thing you could do, actually, instead of doing a different section, you can actually go over here, just hover in this white area, and create a section group and name it. And so that could be client number 2. All right, and here, just like before, you could create different sections. So let's say that you had, this is client number 2, and let's say you did different services for them, right? So maybe you did audit services for them, that could be a section. You did, maybe some marketing, right? Obviously, this is going to be tailored towards what your needs are for that particular client or for whatever that it is you're doing. But these are just different ways and different things that you can create in the OneNote. Okay, so now we have these sections, right? And let's just say we're going to do one for meetings as well. Now we've got our three different sections. Now what you also have in each section, right down here, is we have untitled page. Now to create a title for that page, let's say you had a board meeting. All right, so board meeting. And then let's say you also have a weekly hangout meeting. What you're doing is, you just like in a notebook, you have different little pages in here, kind of like tabs. All right. Now let's say the board meeting, you're meeting with several different people in that board meeting, right? So one of the people you meet with is a Smith. And so you want to have separate notes for Smith. And then, or maybe these are subordinates. Or again, if you're a teacher, these could be students. And let's say another one named Armstrong. So now what you can also do is, let's say Smith and Armstrong were both members of the board. You can highlight those names, right-click it, and make it a subpage, right? Right now it's a subpage for Weekly Hangout, but what you can do is, just because it's still highlighted, just drag it with your mouse under board meeting, okay? And now those two folks are under board meeting. All right, you see how that is? Now, the other thing you can do with these, let's see, actually I think these right up here, is you can change the color. Essentially what you do is you right click, and here if you right click you can see the different options that you have, and then you can change your section color, let's say to lemon lime. That's the same as this one, so let's change this color to maybe red. All right, and you see how it changes the color here on the right? All right, so those are just a couple of the things that you can do with that. All right, now let's go ahead and start typing in your notebook. All right, so I'm going to type board meeting. Today, a very productive meeting. All right, and then let's say out of that meeting, we came up with a couple things we need to do, like follow up on media inquiry, send emails, all right, and you see these are all typing up in the box. Let's see, transcribe notes, okay. Now what you can also do is, that's your box here. You can, if you just hover and type over here, and start a new box, okay. And if you highlight it, just like in most Microsoft products, you can highlight it and then you can change, you can make it bold, highlight the color. You know, you want to do bullet points, any of those kind of things, you can do that with it, okay. And if you don't need the box anymore, you don't want the box, you just select it, click up here, and just click delete. All right. And also, if you ever mess up on anything, just like in Word, if you type something, and you say, oh, I made a mistake, you just do Control Z. It'll take it away. If you deleted something and you didn't mean to delete it, you just do Control Y. All right. And that will make it reappear. All right, so let's see. What else are we going to cover before we get to the really, really juicy stuff? All right, so I just already went over adding sections and section groups. So we did that. We did drag and drop, so you know that you guys can drag these up and down however you want to. You can do the same here with the section headers also. If you want these in a different order, you can drag those as well. Now, let me just show you if you want to delete. Okay, you can right click over here. Let's say I'm going to delete Armstrong here, and you can just do delete. Okay. All right, so that is how you delete. If you want to, let's see, if you deleted something and you want to try to get it back, then you just go over, let's see, history. You can either empty the bin. You can go here. Let me show you if I might have done that too fast. Go to history, select the notebook, recycle bin, click on it, and there's the one that we deleted. If you right click a page or section to move it out, so you right click, move, and then you can move it back. Okay. All right. Well, I moved it somewhere else, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time searching to find out where I put it. I probably put it in the other section. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is tagging. So let's say that you've got a very full notebook here, right? Full of tabs, and you have to find something, right? So here is the search box, but what you can also do is, let me go to, let's see. Here we go. There's something called tags. What you can do is you can create a number of different tags. Hold on a second, you guys. Hold on one moment. All right. This area right here is what you call tags. All right. And what you can do is you can create a to-do tag. And then you can just check, it's like a check-off list. You can check these off when you're done. All right, let's see what other kind of tags they have there. You can mark important. If you have questions, you can highlight phone number, an idea. You can also create a priority, how you want to prioritize these. You can do customized tags. So you can modify a tag, or you can create a tag. So Let's just say we want to create a tab that as urgent. We can create our own symbol of what we want it to look like, font color, highlight code, and then as you can see, that list up there. So let's say that transcribing notes maybe is not as important, not a priority. It's important, but maybe not a priority. We just highlight it and click on the tag. And if you see this arrow, you just click on that. That will expand the option box here and expand. I think I said that wrong. And then there you go. That's how you do that. So you can create a bunch of those if maybe you were writing notes and you just want to make sure that there's a part of it that you want to make sure that you don't miss, or something very special that you wanted to spend a little extra time on and kind of reiterate. You can do that. All right. So you're welcome. There's a whole bunch of tags there, as you can see. But again, if they're missing something that you feel like you need, you can just go ahead and take care of that. Now, the other thing is something called quick notes. So if you're on the internet or something, this box, usually when you open up OneNote, at least in 2013, this little mini box here will pop up. All right. And what you can do is there's a couple things you can do. You can do a little quick note. This is literally if I can spell it right, quick note. Okay. And there's, as you might recall, if not, there is a quick notes section. So see, there you go. That's the one we just did. So if you're doing some other work and maybe you just don't have an opportunity to, try to open up OneNote and try to figure out where it should go, you can just do a note on the go. It'll save here, and then you can figure out, where you can copy and paste it, where to move it next. Okay. So you're not, that's really good too if you're on the internet. And you're going through a training and you hear something really quick, you want to jot it down, but OneNote's not open. You can just go ahead and take that quick note and save it there. Okay. Let's see. Now the next function, as you saw on there, was a screen clipping. Let me show you that again. Screen clipping. So let's say that you are on the internet. Let's see. And all right, let's say, look at this picture of Beyonce. So what you can do is you can click on screen clipping. Now see, when you do that, the page will freeze. And you can just take your mouse, this little plus sign, and select the image or text that you want. All right. And then you can save it to wherever it is you want that to go. So let's put that in the audit section. All right. The other thing you can do, you guys, there's a button on your computer. Looks like it looks like this Office Start button on your laptop. If you're using a Microsoft if you have a Microsoft computer, if you press that and the S like Sam button at the same time, it does the exact same thing. So if for some reason you don't have that small box, because on my uh, another computer that I use, I have OneNote 2010. I don't have 2013 on that computer, and so I don't get that small pop-up box. I just get the regular OneNote. But I can hit this task key and the S, and it'll do exactly the same thing. You can just highlight the picture that you want, and let's see, and send it. And then let's take a look at, see, look at that. And it saves under a different page. See that? But as you can see, it's really decent enough, really decent quality. So if you see something you like, one of the things that I do, if I see a lead capture page, someone, who's inviting you to a training or a webinar and they have a really nice page set up, or I see a really nice graphic, something like that I want to use for ideas, I will do a quick screen capture so I can go back and reference it. Okay? And you can do like as many of these little pages as you want, as many sections up here at the top as you want. I think there might be a limit, but the limit is like, I think you can have like hundreds of these up here. So, you're likely not gonna ever run out or be told, oh, sorry, you're not allowed to have any more sections. So there's a whole lot of space on there to be used. Okay, so make sure that anything that you see, can be text, can be visual, that you want to reference later, right? Don't rely on your memory that you'll go back to it, right? That's happened to me before, where I've seen something and I've said, oh, I'll go back to that. Oh, I'll remember the name of the web page, and then I completely forget. All right. So another thing you guys can do is, let's say you have could be a PowerPoint like I have right here, or a Word document or a PDF. If you go to File and you go to Print, you can select OneNote as your printer. Okay? And it will print, it will save it there. All right, so let's see what this box is going to come up and find out where I want to put it. Now, for some reason, all right, I might have to look into this one, you guys, because it looked like it was creating a new notebook for me, which it should not do. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time focusing on that one. I will figure that one out, and then maybe I'll shoot a quick video. But I have a feeling it's probably just the way my computer is set up. So, but typically what you can do is, if your computer is set up right, let me see. Now, my other computer, I'm able to right-click and I'm able to send stuff to OneNote, but I'm not able to do that here. So, I'm not sure why that is. But again, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure that one out. All right, so you guys, I'm going to get into some of the really, really, really cool stuff. I did say really quickly, let me show you, if you want to insert a table, it is just, oh, before I go into the table, you guys, just so you can see, when you do a screen clipping, as you can see, it will time date with the date and the time. All right, and you guys can even here, you can see Wednesday, February 18th, 8:35. You can actually go in here and you can change that, or you can just select it and backspace or hit delete and delete it. Okay, so you don't have to have that, but the default is there. Now, if you wanted to insert a table, it's just like Microsoft Excel. You can go in here and insert tables. You can fudge with the colors of the table. You can do all of those kind of things in here. All right. One of the really cool features is that you can import audio and video as well. And another thing you can do is you can do mathematics. I'm not going to go in here. I'm not going to go into the how to do the arithmetic, but you can actually do math. You can actually also, like I said, this works better if you've got the like the Surface Pro with the stylus. But see here, you can draw. But I don't have a stylus because what you can do actually, oops, is when you draw, you can right click and you can actually, it'll save it, your handwriting to text. All right, but I don't have the stylus, so I'm not able to show that to you. But if you do have like a Surface Pro, one of those with the stylus, you can actually do a handwriting. You can draw whatever your notes, and then it can convert your notes to text. All right. That can also convert to text though with an image. So let me see if I can pull an image. So if I want to insert a picture. I'm looking for one that's going to work. Huh. Let me see something, because I had one, you guys, that I was going to use to show you. Uh, and I don't see it. Hmm. All right. Let's see. What I was going to show you is oh, hold on. Here it is, right in front of my face. So let's say if you have an image, right? First of all, you can either insert your image, your picture, or you can actually drag it over. All right, and as you can see, this is an image. You can actually do this with anything that was, it's really much easier when it's typed. Let me see if I can do this. You click on this button right, this little icon right here. You right click on it and say copy text from picture. Then you right click somewhere else on the page and you you're going to paste it, and I usually paste keep text only. And as you can see, I can go in here and I can type over that, okay? The other cool thing you can do is, let's see, you can drag music over. This is one of the things I think you're going to really like. If you guys, I do a lot of, I sit on a lot of trainings. And so, all right, this is pasting over here. I'm going to give it a minute. But let me just tell you what I'm doing here. So I sit through a lot of trainings, and I take a lot of notes. And what happens is, and I'm sure you guys can to attest, when you're learning new stuff, or when you're training or doing any kind of professional development, it can be pretty easy, right, to get overwhelmed and get information overload. So this cool little feature, which I'm really digging, is, all right, so you see here I dragged this audio file. So let me play it. It's being used. Let me see if I have that somewhere else, because let's see. Great. Hold on a second, you guys. Let me see if I can find this, because I thought I had opened it already. Let's see. All right, let me see if I can find a. Let me see. Now you can see this is one that I do for my business. I've got a whole bunch of. I screen capture just about everything, and it's not in there. Oh, you know what? Actually, see if it's in. There it is. There it is. All right, so let's delete that, and hopefully that will do the trick. This is going to drive me crazy. All right, you guys, what this would do, hold on a second, let me see. I really want to show you this feature. I'm going to be so disappointed if I can't. If I'm not able to show you this feature, I'm going to do a separate video and make that available to you guys. Because what happens is, number one, you can play it on your system, okay? And then the other cool thing is you can actually take notes. And what happens is, as it's playing and you sit here and you take notes, right? A little icon will appear to the left. And when you click on that icon, it will take you right to where you were when you took that note, which is huge, because one of the things is, let's say that you sit through a 2-hour training, right? Let's say that you were using OneNote, right? And you were because you can actually record as well. All right, so you could actually, if you had your OneNote up and running, you could actually record me talking, and you could take notes. Okay, and what will happen is, let's say you listen to the whole thing, but the most important thing you wanted to hear, you were really on this hangout because you wanted to know how to record meetings. And right when I got to that point, instead of going through the entire training just to get to the point where you wanted, the point that you really wanted to listen to, when you start to take notes on that subject and then you go back and hit that icon, right? Um, Let me see something. Actually, I've got. Hold on a second. Um, Let me see. So I'm just curious if maybe if I record me talking. Let's see if that works. Okay. Let's see. I am recording, and I'm not sure if it works if I'm doing it, but I'm going to try. I am going to try. And let's hit stop. There we go. See the little icon there? And let's click on that. And I'm not sure if it works if I'm doing it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. See that? It cuts out all the stuff that I said at the beginning and just jumps right to the place where I said that. That is huge. That is really huge. But let me first show you what I did to do that. So you would come to, let's see, the playback is there. It doesn't default there. You would go to insert and see you could record audio or you could record video. Okay. And once you hit the record audio, the playback audio and video feature will become available. And then you just start typing your notes where you want, exactly where you want it to be. And then you just click on that little icon. It's very small and it'll take you right to the points in that training where you want it to go. All right, so that, you guys, is like super, super huge. This is great if for any of you who do interviews, and you want it transcribed. This can help you with the transcription because some computers do have a function. There's a software called Drag On, but there's actually one that's built in your computer. I haven't checked it on this computer. I've checked it on my computer at work, and I do have it where it's talk to text. So you can talk it, it can type it out for you. So you can use it for that feature to help you with interviews and to be able to go back. And so that's a super, 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 super cool feature that I really like. And let me see. Hold on one moment. You guys can do a lot of different things. It doesn't even have to be business. You can manage your shopping list. If you have receipts, right, you can do screen clippings. You can take an image and send it to your OneNote, right? You can use it as your media player. So just like I dragged that file over, you can actually play it, your files from your OneNote. If you want to save, if you run across different websites and web addresses, you can save those to your OneNote. You can, of course, if you have an image that has text, that can be converted, and you can actually pull, which is what I showed you earlier. You can pull that text outside of that image. You can actually read that. All right. And let's see. I think I just want to make sure. Hold on. You guys, just so you know, this recording is going to be available. Um, all you need to do is go back to this link on my page, and you will be able to get access to it. I think that I actually ran over quite a bit, and um, I'm actually just looking at something because oh, I knew it. Okay, there was one last thing that I wanted to go over with you guys. I don't have to really show you anything on the computer, but one of the cool features about OneNote is that you can use it across multiple computers. As I was explaining, I have, a computer at work that I use, and so when I go to work, it syncs perfectly. You just have to pull it into Skydive, which is free when you have. I have an MSN email, and that is Hotmail. But you can get access to that Skydive, which is kind of like Google Drive, to pull it over. But once you pull it over and you sync it, that's it. Um, and so, you don't have to feel no more feeling like, oh well, I'm going to use it. I'm going to work, and I need to use this file at work. So let me email it to myself. You don't have to do that. You can just upload it to your OneNote, and you will be able to access it when you get to any other computer. You just have to sign in. Just one word of caution, depending on what purpose you're using OneNote for, and whatever company you're working for, they may have some policies about what information can be sent using OneNote. So just make sure that you are just want to make sure that you are aware of that. But that is one of the things I like about it most. So you don't have to feel like you need one of those little thumb drives and save everything on there. So then when you get to work, you got to take everything off the thumb drive and put it on the next computer. You don't have to do that. You can just use your OneNote. So you guys, I really hope that you found this training helpful, and I hope that you join me. I'm going to be doing a hangout on Sunday, this Sunday at 9 p. I think at 9 p.m. I actually haven't quite decided, so just keep your eye out for that. And that one is going to be on blogging. But next week on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, I'm going to talk about organizing your business with Google Calendar. And the great thing about Google Calendar is that regardless of what computer I'm using, it's the exact same. It works the exact same way. So unlike OneNote here, where I have a different version at work and than I do at home. So there's a few things that one does that the other doesn't do. So I apologize about that. But that's not an issue with Google Calendar. So I'm going to show you how to leverage Google Calendar. That will be next Wednesday, February 25th at 8 p.m. So just be on the lookout for my Facebook invite. All right, you guys. So if you guys have any questions or any suggestions for a future training, or if there's something here that you had a question about something that I mentioned, then please send me an email. You can actually either you can leave a post um, under it, under the my article there with the Hangout visual there on the page here with the video, or you can leave a something in the Facebook where the event invite was, or you can just shoot me an email at feedback@mystiquewashington.com. All right, you guys, thank you very much, and have a blessed evening. Good night.